Hello everyone, good afternoon. In today's video, our focus is on chapter 8, fractions, and chapter 9, operations with fractions. We have a couple of questions to look at. Let's start with question 1. Which of the following represents an equivalent fraction? The word equivalent means the two fractions are equal. So we need to look at option A to D to see which of these pair of fractions are equal. Looking at 3 over 5 and 6 over 8. For a fraction to be equal, let's see. The numerator, for example, this is 3, and on the right hand side we have 6. What will you do to 3 to get to 6? One of the things is to multiply it by 2. 3 times 2 will give 6. Use the same multiplier, 5 times 2. Does it give 8? No, it doesn't. Therefore, these two fractions are not equal. So if you do the same thing for B, C, and D, you will observe that for option C, for example, 2 over 3 and 4 over 6 equals. In the numerator, we have 2. The numerator here, we have 4. Now, what number will I multiply with these 2 to get 4? Of course, 2 times 2 is 4. Use the same number to multiply the denominator. 3 times 2 also gives 6. Hence, that means these two fractions are equivalent. Option C. Question number 2. Shama spends 3 over 12 of her savings on a new phone. Which equivalent fraction shows the amount Shama spends? So this is still talking about equivalent fraction. Now we have to observe the option A to D. A, B, C, D. Okay. Now one of the things we can do is let's see what number can divide this 3, also divide this 12. For example, 3 can divide 3. That's the least common multiple. And 12 can also divide 3. And this gives 3 divide 3. Same number dividing each other gives 1. So this is 1 over 12 divides 3. 12 divided into 3 equal groups will give 4. So that means 1 over 4 is the same as 3 over 12. So the correct answer is A. Another way of doing it is this. We have 3 over 12. So I can say 3 is the same as 3 multiply 1. And 12 is the same as 3 multiply 4. You see that? So that means on each case you multiply 1 by 3 to get 3. And you multiply 4 by 3 to get 12. So your answer, 1 over 4, is an equivalent fraction to 3 over 12. Question number 3. What is the unknown denominator? If 4 over unknown equals, we don't know what is here, equals 8 over 12. So you can do it two ways. One of the ways is, let's work backward. What will I do to 8 to get 4? I can use the operator divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 gives 4. Then I can do the same thing. What will I do if I do 12 divided by same number, common multiple, 2? What will I get? 12 divides 2. Divide 12 into 2 groups, you have 6 in each group. So that means the answer is 6. So 4 over 6 is equivalent to 8 over 12. Good job. You may pause the video at this point and try to attempt each of these questions before looking at the answer. Okay? Question number 4. Which meat makes up the list of Mr. Umaid's sandwich? List. The word list means the slowest, the smallest. So we've got 3 sandwich here. We have the turkey, 1 over 3. We have the chicken, which is 2 over 4. And we have the roast beef, 1 over 6. So for us to determine the least, what can we do? Okay, so I'm gonna use one of the easiest method. By way of observing, the numerator in the first fraction is 1, the numerator in the third fraction is also 1. Can we make the numerator of the second fraction 1? Yes, we can, because 2 over 4 is equivalent to 1 over 2. If you divide 2 by 2, divide 4 by 2, you get 1 over 2. So let's have this as 1 over 2. Now there is a rule that says when the numerator are the same, okay, like we have 1 over 3, 1 over 2, and 1 over 6. When the numerator, the numbers up in a fraction are the same, then the denominator with the highest value is the least fraction. 3, 2, 6. 6 is the highest value denominator. So that means the fraction 1 over 6 is the least. And that belongs to roast beef. So the answer is roast beef. Question number 5. Kamis ran 1 over 2 kilometer on Saturday and 3 over 4 kilometer on Sunday. On which day did Kamis run farther? So farther is like the longest. Or in a math term, we can say the greatest. So we want to look at which of these fractions is the greatest. Is it 1 over 2 or 3 over 4? So one way we can do this is by, okay, let me use a number line method because there are different methods to use. If we are to use a number line method, for example, let's say this. If this is 0 and this is 1, 1 over 2 is half of 1. So it's going to be in the middle, 1 over 2. So let's have another number line. In this case, 0, also 1. Let's see, how do we make the denominator 4? By multiplying 1 over 2 by 2 and by 2. 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. That means 1 over 2 and 2 over 4 are equivalent fractions. They are the same. So at the middle here, if we put 2 over 4. Next, we need 3 over 4 on this number line. The number next after 2 will be 3. So this is 3 over 4. The number before 2 is 1. So this is 1 over 4. Now we want to observe which one is farther. Let's say we have, this is Kamis, okay, this is Kamis, and Kamis is going on a journey. So this is Kamis. Kamis goes on Saturday. He made 1 over 2 kilometers, and on Sunday it moves to get to 3 over 4 kilometers. So if we look at this, which of these two is the farthest, like the greatest? Yeah, Kamis covered more distance for number 2, which is 3 over 4. So that 3 over 4 belongs to Sunday. So our answer is B. Question number 6. Yasa has 40 pence. Yesterday, Yasa is E, I believe. He had half that amount. So let's take a step. Half. Half is a fraction, that means 1 over 2. So half of that amount, that is 40. Half of 40, if you divide 40 into 2 equal parts, each part will be 20. So half that amount, then we have plus 2. So plus 2. And 20 plus 2 will give you 22. How many pence did she have? Did he have left? So he has 22 pence. Question number 7. I want you to pause the video again. Make attempt on the following questions. Play it back to check if you are correct. Question number 7. Write a mixed number for the shaded model. Remember what a mixed number is? A mixed number has 2 parts. The whole number part and a fraction. The fractional parts. So for example, we call A as, we read it as 1 whole number 10 over 6. 2 whole number 3 over 6. 3 whole number 6 over 4. And D, 3 whole number 4 over 6. In this case, we want to use this model. If you observe this model very well or closely, each part in the model is color blue. So this whole part is colored blue. So this is one whole. Another full part has the color blue. Another one whole. Another full part has color blue. Another one whole. That makes it be 1 plus 1 plus 1. And that is 3. So we have 3 whole numbers. Now, if you examine the last part, not all the parts inside is color blue. Only 4 parts is color blue. 4 parts out of a total of 6. So that is the fractional part. So the answer is 3 whole number 4 over 6, or 3 whole number. If you look at the fraction 4 over 6, you can take it to the simplest form. A least common multiple, a number that can divide 4 and 6, is 2. So if you divide both by 2, 4 divided 2 is 2 and 6 divided 2 is 3. So this can still be written as 3 whole number 2 over 3. Question number 8. Ila needs 4 whole number 2 over 3 cups of sugar to make cupcakes. Which improper fraction names the amount? Now, the question is, how do you convert a mixed number into an improper fraction, a single fraction? Very easy. All you need to do, follow the procedure MA, where M stands for multiplication and the A stands for addition, to add. What do you multiply? Take the denominator of the fractional part, which is 3. Multiply it with the whole number parts, which is 4. So 3 multiply 4 is 12. The answer you get, you then add it, A for add, to the numerator of the fractional part. So 12 plus 2 is 14. So your answer is now going to be 14 in the numerator over the denominator remains the same of the fractional part, 14 over 3. So this is an improper fraction. A fraction is said to be improper if the number in the denominator is less, smaller than the number at the numerator, 14. Question number 9. Yesterday it rained 4 over 8 centimeter. That was yesterday. Today it rained 2 over 8 centimeter. The question says, what is the total amount of rain for the 2 days in the simplest form? So for yesterday and for today, the total amount, of course, total you're gonna add. So we have 4 over 8 plus 2 over 8. Remember how to add like fractions. Like fractions are fractions that have the same denominator, 8. So you write the 8, same number. Then you can add the numerators, which is 4 plus 2, and that gives 6 over 8. Remember, this 6 over 8 is not your answer. If you choose that, it's wrong, because it says in simplest form. So you need to see, how do you write 6 over 8 in its simplest form? Look for the least common multiple that you can use to divide both the numerator and the denominator. 2 is the number. 2 can divide both 6 divide 2, 3, and 8 divide 2, 4. 3 over 4 in the simplest form. That leaves us with option C. Question number 10. A beetle is 2 over 5 centimeter wide and 3 over 5 centimeter long. How much greater is the beetle's length than its width? So for the length is 3 over 5. So how is 3 over 5 greater than the width, which is 2 over 5? We can do that by subtracting. So if you subtract this like fraction, it leaves us with 3 minus 2, and that is 1 over 5. Option A. Question 11. And then is 9 whole number 9 over 12 years old. How old will he be in 3 whole number 1 over 12 more years? So first, today let's say I'm done is 9 whole number 9 over 12 years old. In 3 plus years time, that will be plus 3 whole number 1 over 12. How do you add mixed numbers? Very easy. The whole number parts can add each other 9 and 3. So this is it, we have 9 whole number 9 over 12 plus 3 whole number 1 over 12. So the whole number parts 9 plus 3, that is 12. And the fractional parts, we see 9 over 12 plus 1 over 12 because these are like fractions as they have the same denominator. So that leaves us with 12, 9 plus 1. And 9 plus 1 is 10. So this leaves us with 10 over 12. So we have 12 whole number 10 over 12. None of this answer is correct, is the answer. So we can see, what can we do? Of course, the fractional part, which is 10 over 12, can be written in its simplest form. Divide both number by 2. We have 10 divided to 5 and 12 divided to 6. In simplest form, the answer is 12 whole number 5 over 6. Question number 12. Moza eats 3 over 4 of a bag of chocolates each week. Every week, she eats 3 over 4 of a bag of chocolates. How many bags of chocolates does she eat in 6 weeks? So for 1 week, she ate 3 over 4. In 6 weeks, that will be multiplied by 6. And this leaves us with, if you multiply this whole number 6, it multiplies the numerator, that is 6 multiplied 3, or divide by 4, and 6 multiplied 3 is 18 divided by 4. So now let's see what we can do to 18 divided by 4. Yeah, we can first reduce it. They have common terms, which is 2. 18 divided to 9 and 4 divided to 2. With 9 over 2 as a fraction, but the answers are in mixed number. So here comes, how do we write an improper fraction as a mixed number? You can ask yourself this question: how many 2 can you find or see in 9? Group of 2 can appear 4 times. For example, just a rough sketch. Let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many group of 2's? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4 whole number. There is only 1 left, not up to 2. So we write 1 over the denominator 2. So that leaves us with 4 whole number 1 over 2. Last question for this chapter. Question number 13. There are 35 students in Mrs. Daniela's class. How many students? 35, correct. Suppose each of the students in the class has 1 over 10 of a box of pencils. How many boxes of pencils do they have in all? So, if there are 35 students in the class and each student has 1 over 10, for me to find the total, I need to multiply, and that leaves us with 35 divided 10. A common Least multiple for 35 and 10 is 5. 35 can divide 5 and 10 can divide 5. 35 divided 5 is 7 and 10 divided 5 is 2. That leaves us with the fraction 7 over 2, which can be written in mixed number. How many group of 2 will you see in 7? 3 times. And that will be 6. You will have 1 left over 2. 3 whole number 1 over 2. All I want you to do is to pause the video or rewind it back, answer all the questions by yourself, check again to see if your answers are correct. All the best. See you in another video. Bye.